just a second.
Let's go back to dividing like you did in like 4th or 5th grade. Okay, so let's see what we have here. What number went outside of that little box? Okay. All right, so we're going to put 12 up here, and then we're going to add 300. Okay, so we start. Does 12 go into 3? No, 12 does not go into 3, so we're not going to put anything here. Does 12 go into 30? Yeah, how many times? So now, once you figured that out, so in your calculator you could, and you could use a calculator, 30 divided by 12, and you get 2 something. So 2 goes on top. Now what do we do with these 2? Multiply. Perfect. So we're going to get 24. Draw a line. Once you write that 24, you draw a line. What did you do next? No, you'd have to do something first. You had to subtract these. I am using colors here. If you want, feel free to grab color pencils. Do not skip these steps. Okay? The process is the same, but you don't want to skip a step as we go. So, 12 goes into 30 2 times. We multiply those. We get 24. Now we subtract, and you're left with 6. Now you said to do what? Bring down the 0. Okay? It is. It is. Now, does 12 go into 60? So I'm going to put a 5 up here. Then I multiply, right? Now the process is the same. So I multiply these. I get 60. I draw my line, and then what do? Why? I subtract. Okay? Okay. Now, my question is with this, is 12 a factor of 300? Why? It is. But why? Remainder 0. So when we do this today with polynomials, if our remainder is 0, it is a factor. So 12 is a factor of 300. Okay? We could also write this. Do you agree that 12, which was given, times our answer, 25, is going to equal our 300? Yeah. So you can check it. So these 2 multiplied together should give us our answer. Okay? Now, next question. Does that 0 matter? Do I need to keep the 0 in there for 306? Yeah, if I take the 0 away, what do I get? 36. Okay? The 0 is there for placement. Okay? Now, the reason I brought that up is because when we start looking at x to the 4th and x to the 3rd, things like that, if there's something missing, we have to put a 0. Okay? For placement. We'll talk about that later, but those zeros matter. Okay? Let's try one more here. So let's put 17 on the outside. And then we have 306. Does 17 go into 3? No. So we go to the next one. Does 17 go into 30?
Yes.
How many next?
1.
1. Divide it out. Or take 17 times 1, 17 times 2, however you want to do it. Okay? Do I add those and get 47? Minus. Perfect. So I'm going to change that to a minus. So I'm going to get 13. 13 is less than 17, so I know I did it correctly. Bring down the 6.
The answer is
Yeah, thank you. Now you get 8. And again, this one you can probably use a calculator. That's fine. 136 divided by 17. So I multiply these 2 now. I get 136. What do I have to do? 9. So we get 0. Okay. So is 17 a factor of 306? Yes. You guys try this. Just give me the remainder. You don't have to make decimal. This one has a remainder. See if you can divide that one up, please.
I hate this. I remember this. Oh. You know what? All of you guys looked at me, but just count down.
I'm recording.
6x squared.
No. 2x plus Now leave a space so you can write above. I'm going to do that. So 2x plus 1, and then underneath we're going to have 6x squared plus 7x plus 2. Okay. Now what you're going to do, and I'm going to highlight here. I don't care about the stuff I'm adding at the end. All I care about is my 2x here. Okay? I want to know what is this here. So 6x squared. I'm taking the first thing here and the first thing here. What is 6x squared divided by 2x? So if you need to, just go off to the side here. 6x squared divided by 2x.
3x squared.
No. 3x, right? Because one of the x's canceled. That 3x, then we're going to write right here. Notice, you line it up with the x. That has to have the same variable. Okay, now think back. This is exactly what we did with numbers. We said, hey, 12 doesn't go into 3, right? So we took 12 times 2. Notice we lined it up at that spot because it went into the 10. Right? The 30 here. So that 2 went there. Okay. I really don't care where you put it. It will make your life easier if you line it up correctly, though. Okay? Now, once we had our 2, what did we do with it? We multiply those, right? So now, we are going to take this 3x, and we are going to multiply by both. Everything gets multiplied. So this times this gives us 6x squared. Isn't it better? That's what we said it was going to do. Then 3x times 1 is 3x. Draw your line underneath. Now let's go back. Once we got our 24, what did we do? Minus. This is the part you don't want to mess up. And some people are trying to skip steps. You cannot skip steps. You will make a mistake. Okay? So multiply it, draw your line, take a breath. Okay? Minus these. These are both positive, right? So I'm going to change them to negative. Right. If it was a negative, I'd make it positive. Right? What happens to my 6x squared? They cancel. Perfect. That's what we want. What is 7x minus 3x? 4x. Okay, before we go, what do I do with the 2 now? Bring it down. Now we'll take a break and we will practice again. Okay? Okay, so now let's finish this. So as we look here, now we have 4x plus 2. So I'm going to highlight again. The only thing that I care about really is my 4x and my 2x. Well, what's 4x divided by 2x? 2. So that's what I divide, so you can do it off to the side here. So 4x divided by 2x is 2. That then goes on the top. Okay, plus 2 because it's positive. Once you figure out what goes here, what do you do with it? You multiply it. So this 2 gets multiplied again by both. So you will get 4x plus 2. Then you draw your line, you take a breath, and then you would change the sign. Okay? You are correct. It disappears, so we get a remainder of 0. What does that mean then about 2x plus 1? What is it? It's a factor. Perfect. Okay, so that means that we can write it as 2 factors. Well, I gave you one of them. And then what was our answer?
3x.
So if I multiply these 2, I would get that original one we divided. Okay? Okay, I'm going to, now, put your pencils down, let's just kind of go through it one more time. It is the same steps over and over and over again, okay? You look at the first part of your term of each expression, you say, okay, take this one divided by that. That gave us 3x. Then we multiply that by both of these, that goes down here. Draw your line, switch the signs. Do not try to multiply and switch signs at the same time. You will make a mistake. Okay? Please multiply and then switch your signs. Then combine them, bring down what we need, and then start the process again. 4x divided by 2x is 2, so that goes up here. Multiply by both of those, we get 4x plus 2. I switch my signs, I add them, I get 0. Okay? Now, sometimes you'll get 0, sometimes we'll have a remainder, and that's okay. Your answer is 3x plus 2. What that means then is I can write it as 2 factors. What I gave you, what was on the outside, and what's on the top are your factors. Okay? All right, let's try another one. We're going to take 4x squared plus 23x minus 16 and divide it by x plus 5. So x plus 5 goes on the outside. And we have 4x squared plus 23x minus 16. Again, all this extra stuff at the end doesn't matter. You just look at the first part that you have. So we look here and here. So what is 4x squared divided by x?
4x.
Do we agree? Okay.
Why does it matter who put the next to the end?
I like to line it up. Just, you don't have to. Yeah, it's just really so much fun. Yep.
What if it was like 1 plus 5 and then it was just 4x squared, would it just be 4x?
If this was an x squared and this was 4 squared, it'd just be 4. Yeah.
So if they were both squared, it would be 4.
Yeah. So now we take this and we multiply by both. Don't forget the 5. Sometimes people forget that. So we're going to multiply these, so we're going to get 4x squared plus 20x. Okay. You have to multiply by both. You're just distributing. Okay, then I'm going to switch my sign. Those both become negative. So now here, those are gone. I'm going to get 23x minus 20, so that's going to give me a 3x. I'm going to bring down my negative 16. Then I'm going to highlight again just to show you. All I care about that first number in that term there. So what is 3x divided by x?
3.
What is 3x divided by x?
3.
3. So we put a plus 3 here. And again, write it off to the side if you want. Okay? Now this 3 has to get multiplied by both of these. So I'm going to get 3x plus 15. Then, what do I do with these? Minus them. So what's negative 16 minus 15? Negative 31. That is a remainder. So then I'm going to put R negative 31.
This is after?
Correct. It is not a factor. Okay. Now, one thing I could ask you, if we have a remainder in the past, what is that? What do I do with it once I multiply? So what I mean here is I can multiply x plus 5 and 4x plus 3 together. I'm not going to get this until I do what with the remainder? What do you do with that remainder? Oh. Add them. A remainder you just add on to the end, right? Like that 204 whatever divided by, we add that remainder. So we're going to just add a negative 31. Okay, so this right here is called the quotient remainder theorem. Not that I really feel that you know the name, but just remember you can multiply these and then add your remainder. And that, if you did that, you would get this answer. I'm not going to make you do it right now, but that's what you would get. But you could check your answers for these if you wanted to. We're not going to. Okay. Next one. I want you to try this one. I want to see how far you can get. You will get a remainder. I'm just going to tell you that now.
Can you put up the example?
Yep. Okay, so here's what you have on the outside and the inside, that goes in outside, that goes inside. You guys see how far I'm gonna walk around and help you as you are going. But I'm gonna bring this back so you can follow the steps, if needed. Okay, so since this doesn't have any zeros, we need to put it in here. So on the outside, we're gonna have x squared plus 0x plus 1. Underneath, everything's fine except we're missing an x, so we're going to have to put a 0 in that place. So we're going to have 3x to the 4th minus 4x cubed plus 12x squared plus 0x plus 5. This is going to be a long one. Okay? Okay. Remember, does any of this matter right now? Does any of this stuff matter? No. The only thing we care about these first two. Again, you don't have to, but I like to kind of highlight. So I'm looking at this. So I'm going to take 3x to the 4th. If it's not there, we have to still put it in. Kind of like if I have like 305, I can't ignore the 0. I have to include it. If he's gone, she had asked me to. Okay, so I want to divide these. Does anything happen to my 3? No. So this is going to be 3. But if I have 4 x's on top, 2 on the bottom, how many am I left with? Yeah. This then I'm going to line up. You don't have to. I just think it makes more sense if it's lined up underneath the x squared. It really doesn't matter, but that's right. Okay. Now, once you find the top, what are we supposed to do? Times. So I multiply by everything here, all 3 of them. So here I'm going to get 3x to the 4th. What's anything times 0? 0. So plus 0x to the 3rd, because there's an x there and 2 there. And what's 3x squared times 1? Okay. Now, what do I need to do with these? There you go. They all become negative. Notice my 3x to the 4th cancels. Here I'm left with negative 4x cubed. And then 12 minus 3 is 9. So I get 9x squared. It does take a while. Every time. No. Okay. Now, next one, I need to figure out then, again, I'm taking this right here, and I'm dividing it by my x squared. That's all I care about are those two things. So what is negative 4x squared x cubed divided by x squared? Notice, if you line it up properly, this was x squared, shouldn't that be an x? It should decrease each time. Okay? So now I multiply these, I get negative 4x cubed. Oh, what did I forget to do? I forgot to do something. Yeah, I forgot to bring this 0x down. Sorry. Okay, no, one at a time. Bring them down one at a time. So now I multiply this, I'm going to get 0x squared, and then negative 4x times 1 is a negative 4x. Okay, switch our signs here. So I get a plus, a minus, and then a plus. Those cancel, I'm left with 9x squared plus 4x. Then bring down that 5. Now we're almost done. Okay, it will be 9. Perfect. It's 9x squared divided by x squared. The x squared cancel. Notice up here, isn't it just a constant? So then that's just going to be the constant. So we multiply them, we get 9x squared plus 0x plus 9. Switch our signs. So those cancel, I'm left with 4x minus 9. What is that? Remainder. You can't do anything. Someone asked, how do you know? Isn't x squared of a bigger degree than this? You have to switch all your signs. Oh, yeah, thank you. So -4. Very good catch. So then there's this, with the remainder, I'm just gonna put it up there, 4x minus 4. Okay? Is that one a factor then? No, it is not. Okay. Question? Okay, then what we're gonna do, we're gonna skip this one till tomorrow. What I want you to do then is get I think page 22 maybe? Yeah, want to get out page